Late Night Health continues. I'm Mark Allen, along with the insane Daryl Wayne. We're going to talk about owning your own wellness. In fact, the name of the book we're going to talk about is Own Your Own Wellness by Daniella Dayoub Forrest. And Daniella, welcome to Late Night Health.
Thank you for having me.
Our pleasure. What's your background?
Professionally or personally?
Well, both. You could share.
Well, I was born and raised in El Paso, Texas, and went to college at UT Austin. I started off my career in retail, moved to LA, hated LA. Not that I hated LA, I just didn't enjoy
the vibe.
Intensity of like who you need to know to get where you needed to go. And then a job opportunity came up for me in Northern California, and I took it, not even knowing where Palo Alto was on the map. Well, it turns out it's a different kind of rat race up here in the Silicon Valley. So that was the system. And then I realized retail was making me sick. I was working, sometimes 60+ hour weeks on my feet. I was starting to wear the golden handcuffs, and I got out. I was 27 years old. I became a personal trainer, quit my job that was paying me very well, and, worked some odd jobs on the side to pay extra bills, and I never looked back.
And then met the love of your life.
That took a while. Yeah, every time I thought I was going to leave the Silicon Valley because the rents were so expensive, I fell in love again, and here I still am all these years later.
Well, so. That's terrific. All right, as a personal trainer, obviously you can take me and other people and help them lose 15, 20 pounds, which is great. Get them healthy. What is the precepts of the book? Taking charge of your own health?
Absolutely. Well, first of all, I realized that as a personal trainer, I was only moving the needle so much for people. I mean, yes, I could get them stronger. Yes, they might be more resilient, but a lot of them weren't losing weight that wanted to. A lot of them still had joint pain, or foggy thinking, or weren't sleeping well at night. And so I kept going back to school over and over again to get more tools in my pocket to try to help these people. People who were doing all the right things, like they're eating well and exercising right, and they still felt crappy. So I just needed more tools to help these people. And the other side of that is, of course, they'd come to me and go, okay, well, just tell me what to have for breakfast. Okay, just tell me what to do on the weekend. Well, then it's not my life, it's their life, So what happens when we're not seeing each other every week? What happens when they go on vacation? What happens when life gets really hard? And I'm not there to tell them what to do.
Well, if you need somebody to tell, to boss around, you can always boss us around. We need that guidance. One of the things that we talk about is taking charge of your own health care. Going to a doctor, calling them by their first name, because when you say Dr. Smith, you're putting them on a pedestal. You're not on the same level with them, and you're in charge of your own health, not the doctor.
That's a good trick. I haven't thought about that, using their first name, but I spend a lot of time with my clients before they go in to have conversations with their doctors. Almost scripting the conversation, giving them bullet points. You're going to say this, you're going to ask them about this, you're going to say, why am I not doing this? Because they're very intimidated. And keep in mind, I'm working with some brilliant people, some people who are top of their fields.
You're in, we should mention that you live in Palo Alto. You're in Silicon Valley. So
absolutely.
Very smart people who understand
I'm in the heart of it.
Yeah. Who understand how an iPhone works. Got it.
Yeah. I'm a mile away from Stanford campus. So, but when they walk into their doctor's office, this is my area of expertise, not theirs. And there's a lot of intimidation as to and I want to page this as saying that I am not antagonistic with their doctors, with the medical field. All I want is for my clients to be able to have open and informative conversations with their doctors, and sometimes push them to order testing or to consider treatments that maybe are not the norm in their practices. So I actually try to partner with the doctors quite a bit.
That's good.
To be on their team. Because, if somebody gets diagnosed with diabetes, somebody gets diagnosed with high blood pressure, the doctor can tell them, I want you to eat this way, exercise like this, etc. But they don't have the time or the inclination to follow up with that, right? I can call somebody on a Tuesday and say, hey, did you go for your walk this morning? So I can partner with these doctors to help have a better patient outcome.
What would you call yourself? An advocate? A counselor?
I call myself a wellness coach.
A wellness coach.
Quite often I'm the liaison between Dr. Google and their own doctor. But yeah.
Was your background before your epiphany at 27, in the health field? Or were you in...
Not at all. I got my degree in retail merchandising and textile science from UT Austin.
Textile science.
Yes, I learned. I can get a stain out of anything in the world, let me tell you.
I'm going to be sending you a whole load of laundry. Our guest is Daniella Dayoub Forrest, and the book is called Own Your Wellness, giving you the tools to break through your health plateaus. Briefly, what is a health plateau?
I think all of us reach them. If you're losing, let's say you're losing 20 pounds as your goal, and you lose the 5 pounds, comes off easy, and then you just stagnate. It's as soon as you're finding that stagnation, you have to make one more change. And I help people figure out, what is that one more change I need to make to get to the next place? And then when I hit the next plateau, now what do I do?
Taking a look at what the average person is going through. I mean, we live in a soundbite society, a fast food society. Everything is moving so fast. It doesn't matter if you're living in LA because you don't like it, or
I feel bad about that.
It's okay. I'm teasing you. Or a small town in Kansas. We all have access to all this stuff. We're being bombarded with all this information, and it causes
bombarded is the word.
I'm sorry?
I said bombarded is the right word.
Yes.
Overwhelmed.
And it causes stress. And I think stress is one of the most powerful things that kill us.
Oh, for sure.
Right?
For sure.
How do we get rid of it?
It can get you stuck and help you, and so you don't make good decisions when you're overwhelmed. So what I do is take this bombardment of information, what your best friend's doing, what Google's telling you, what the latest news article is. And I help people in this book to take a moment and consider, does this new fad, does it actually support the goal that I'm reaching for? And if so, how can I strategically implement this new thing slowly to see if it actually is going to work for my personal chemistry?
Our guest is Daniella Dayoub Forrest, and the name of the book is Own Your Wellness. And the book gives you tools to help you through your health challenges. When we come back, I want to talk about two things. One of the most important is sleep. Not that I know this personally, but Daryl and I are not sleepers, either one of us.
We'll talk about that.
And we'll talk about that. And I also want to talk about supplementation. I just came back from Natural Products Expo West, where they talk about all the latest information. It's based on science about the importance of supplementation. I'm Mark Allen, along with the insane Daryl Wayne. This is Late Night Health, and we encourage you to visit us at latenighthealth.com. That's latenighthealth.com. Don't go away. More coming up as we continue. How was your day going, Daniella? Late Night Health is proud of our partnership with the EBC, the Evolutionary Business Council. Check them out at ebcouncil.com.
You're listening to Late Night Health with Mark Allen. The show continues in a moment.
Recently, I met Jacqueline from Bright here in Los Angeles. She gave me a hearing exam and then showed me how to hear again with the new Signia Pure Series hearing aids, and she can give you your life back too. I hear birds chirping, birds cooing, and even my wife. They easily connect to my smartphone. The Signia hearing aids are amazing, and with the charge and go, I don't have to fiddle with batteries and hear all day long. Not hearing is frustrating for you and your family. I know you don't have a problem, but trust me, call Bright Here now for a free hearing exam, a $125 value, yours free, just for making an appointment now. There are offices throughout the Los Angeles area. Call Bright Here now at 323-424-7100. That's 323-424-7100 for a free hearing exam. There's no obligation. Call now, 323-424-7100, or visit them on the web at brighthere.com.
If you're listening to Late Night Health right now, you're part of the growing target of baby boomers we're serving. Hi, I'm Daryl Wayne, producer of Late Night Health, inviting you to join the Late Night Health family. If you have any business targeting the growing boomer market, Late Night Health is the ideal advertising vehicle for you. From vitamins to insurance, alternative health to Western-style medicine, Late Night Health caters to the growing population of those over 40 years old. This vibrant demographic has expendable income to fight aging, purchase travel, take care of aging parents, or just have fun. Find out about the advertising opportunities with Late Night Health. Call us at 805-391-0308. That's 805-391-0308, or email us at info@latenighthealth.com. That's info@latenighthealth.com. Join Late Night Health as we empower people to take charge of their own health care. Call now at 805-391-0308. That's 805-391-0308. Sometimes it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Words are a critical aspect of success. How you get your point across is a crucial part of what makes anything sell. So do it right and hire a writer. Whether it's articles, blog posts, technical writings, website content, product descriptions, or ghostwriting anything from a novel to a nonfiction book about your navel, contact Servet Hassan. If you want it to sell, write it right. Email Servet at servet@servethassan.com.
It's time to tackle a tough topic, one that affects us all. We're talking about sexism in the workplace. The award-winning Identifying the Elephant in the Room series is back and ready to tackle some complicated communications issues again. This spring, we're focusing on critical communication strategies in the face of sexism. Join us as we hear from professionals in the natural products industry who have valuable career lessons to share and real-world experience to discuss from all sides of the elephant. It's time to have an honest and open conversation about the impact of sexism in the workplace and how we can make it better for everyone. Identifying the Elephant in the Room series starts March 16th. Register today at inicibox.vfairs.com. That's INICIBOX.VFAIRS.com, and join the conversation to be part of the solution. Late Night Health continues. I'm Mark Allen along with the insane Daryl Wayne, and you can catch Daryl all the time on Boss Boss Radio, right? BossBossRadio.com.
That's right. We've got BossBossRadio.com. We've got Old Boss Gold, which is a new wave oldies channel, if you will. Think of new wave music in the 80s,
right.
70s. Talking Heads, Devo, Ramones, 40 years ago.
Wow.
So
and isn't there a Daryl Wayne channel?
No, I don't believe in such things.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. All right. So you can do that.
Yeah, no, there's not anything really decent to go to. If you Google Insane Daryl Wayne, a bunch of stuff comes up. So.
Yeah, it does. A bunch. A bunch. Our guest is Daniella Dayoub Forrest, and she's written a book, Own Your Own Wellness. We're going to talk about sleep. How important is sleep? You said that you're going to go to bed early tonight because you want to fight off a cold.
Sleep is so key, and it is a hugely undervalued piece of the health puzzle. I said I'm going to go to bed early tonight because I'm fighting off a cold that my daughter, I think, gave me. And, my immune system will be stronger if I get a good night's sleep. If most of us are not at least in bed for 8 hours, we have no chance of getting enough sleep. It's, never ceases to amaze me how I can get people to buy the newest pill, to try the new workout, whatever it is, but getting them to turn off their phones or Netflix at 11 o'clock at night so they can get a good night's sleep, it's next to impossible. And then they wonder why they can't see the results of all their hard work.
Do you get 8 hours plus a night?
I get probably close to 7 almost every night. So I try to be in bed between, I'm a little bit not a morning person. So I try to get to bed between 11 and 12. And then I wake up between 7 and 8 o'clock in the morning. And for the most part, I get a good solid 7 plus, sometimes more than 8 if I'm really pooped.
And let's see, last night I went to bed at about 11:30. I did a meditation and I fell asleep and I woke up at 3:30.
What do you do at 3:30 when you wake up?
Well, I go to the men's room and then, and I don't normally I don't need to do that. It was just last night for whatever reason. And then, I slept till about 6:30 after that. So let's see, 3.5 and 4. So maybe, I got 7 hours.
Good.
Yeah, not bad. Better than I thought. Daryl, do I dare ask about you?
Well, over the weekend, I had some special circumstances. I was in Albuquerque doing some live broadcasting, and I went with Gary.
Right, Mama Leggy.
Yeah, and there were some late nights that turned into morning and the time to go back to work.
Got it.
Before I had slept. So my sleep patterns over the weekend were pretty broke up. I'll make it for tonight. My wife is a sleeper. She can do 10 hours easy.
Yeah.
She's ready to go to bed about 8:30 or 9 o'clock. And, after she goes to sleep, I usually do some work of some type. Eventually get tired enough. I'm like 11:30, 12 o'clock.
Though I do get emails from you at 2 a.m.
That's true.
Yeah. Okay. And my wife.
I'm always worried when I get client emails tagged that early in the day. It's like, oh boy.
I had a client send me a whole bunch of texts the other day, 12:30, 3 o'clock, and 4:30. Why aren't you responding to me? Because it's in the AM. It's in the morning. It was really.
Oh my goodness.
Well, they were in Europe. They forgot about the time change. So we talked about sleep. Let's talk about supplementation. I think it's important. You said that you were going to take some extra stuff. Vitamin D is something that I take when I'm not feeling quite up to snuff. And we know that vitamin D levels nationwide are low.
For sure.
And it's because we slather our skin. We slather our skin with SPF something to prevent cancer, yet we're also blocking the sun rays so that we don't make and generate our own vitamin D. So what do we do?
Well, can I just talk about just vitamin D for a minute? Because just supplementing with it, unfortunately, is not going to fix the problem. Even those of us who are very fair, my husband is also just very, very, fair-skinned. But if you can get outside even for 5 minutes in the noon sunshine, or even if there's clouds, you can start building up your tolerance to the sun. And the conversion to vitamin D in your system is so much better when it comes from nature. Now, that said, to help get your levels up, supplementing will certainly help. But while you're adding in that supplementation, you want to make sure that you're also doing things lifestyle-wise to increase your vitamin D. You can also get it from mushrooms. Cooked mushrooms are a great source of vitamin D.
Oh, great. We just did a whole thing on mold abatement, which are related to mushrooms, and we talked about that. Perfect. You did a great segue there. Thank you, Danielle.
I'll try not to get into the weeds on that. But as far as supplements go in general, magnesium is one that I recommend to almost all of my clients because we all have a huge magnesium deficiency, not just because of what we're eating, but because of the soil that our food is being grown in is magnesium deficient. And we need it for almost every enzymatic process in our bodies. I go into great detail in the book about some of the basics, understanding your water-soluble vitamins, your fat-soluble vitamins, and minerals, and when and how to take them. And in there, I just build a framework for people to not just understand what is this new probiotic that's out there, new whatever that's going on. Well, okay, let me do some research on it. Let me see if it counteracts with anything else I'm taking. Does it support my goal again? And then how can I strategically put it in? So don't add in 5 new supplements this week, right? You're going to start with the most important one at the lowest effective dose, and then work your way up to the maximal dose before you go on to another supplement addition.
And what about probiotics? Are you a fan?
I am a fan. The science on the exact combinations of probiotics is consistently evolving. It's grown a lot since I wrote the book, even. But I do recommend most people take some form of probiotics, especially if they're not eating a bunch of fermented foods. And most importantly, if they're not out there in the soil. My people who are good gardeners and also, have kimchi or sauerkraut or things like this, awesome. For everybody else, getting a good comprehensive probiotic support, probiotic and prebiotic as well, can actually lend to much healthier gut function.
And I always have fermented pickles and fermented sauerkraut. You have to be careful not to get sauerkraut or pickles, for example, that have vinegar, because that kills the probiotics. They're not true fermented pickles, or brine pickles is what you should look for. And that's just from my personal experience. And I love kimchi. I think it's... Me too. It's just great stuff. And there's so many different kinds, radish and cabbage, and you name it, it becomes kimchi. In our remaining moment or so, what would be the number one thing that you would say to somebody, say over 50, that they should do to maintain health?
The number one thing they should do to maintain health, eat real food. Get rid of as much processed food as possible. Would be the number one thing I would say to do. And that's on multiple prongs. Not only will it help stave off disease long term, because you don't have all of these chemicals and preservatives, but it will help you maintain a healthy weight, which then keeps all these other diseases away, because you'll register hunger and satiety much better, and you'll have a better nutritional profile from the food that you're taking in. It'll be about the quality, not
and
the
that, I'm
quantity.
assuming that by real food you mean organic. That's a yes or no.
Say not necessarily, because a lot of people can't afford to buy organic.
We
right?
got it. With and though the prices are coming down, we're out of time. Daniella, thank you very much. The name of the book, Own Your Own Wellness, and Daniella Dayoub Forrest is the author. Thank you very much, Daryl. Thank you.
My pleasure.
And thank you very much for tuning in. Have a great week, everybody. We'll see you next time. Most importantly, have a healthy week. Bye-bye for now.